Hello guys, welcome to SMH Solution. Today we are going to discuss how we can migrate our on-premise SQL database to Azure SQL Database with the help of Data Migration Assistant tool. On my previous class, I already given you other step for migrating on-premise SQL database to Azure SQL Database with the help of SQL Management Studio itself. Okay, today we are going with Data Migration Assistant tool. Okay, on the last video, we used the Data Migration Assistant tool only for the assessment purpose. Like, from here we created this assessment option. That means that whether we can migrate our existing database or not, that first we have to check. Anyway, that we already checked from our previous video. So here, direct, what is our planning? We will do the migration with the help of this tool itself. So first thing, I already opened my SQL Server Management Studio. From this databases, if you will come to our database DB1 local, I already created two tables here, DB or table 1 and DB or table 2 for checking purpose. Okay, so now what we will do, this database DB1 local, we will migrate to our Azure SQL database area. So we will go to our Azure portal. I already opened Azure portal. Here I have created a SQL server. Okay, and in this SQL server, if you will go to SQL databases, there is no. So for this purpose, for with the help of this data migration assistant, we need to create one SQL database. Okay, so I'm going to create one SQL database now. Here, already we have that SQL server. That is why. So I will give one name now. SQL DB1, I will give the name. Okay, other everything it is automatically taken because we are creating this SQL database as part of the SQL server itself. Then other things I will make it as default only. Now we are going to create this SQL database. Now validating this one. Now it is deploying. We can just wait. Within that time, what I will do is I will copy our SQL server name. Okay, this is my SQL server name, because why we are copying this one is that for connecting this database to our SQL normal, our local SQL Server Management Studio, we need this server name. Okay, so anyway I copied this one. What happened to our, yeah, still this deployment is in progress. We can just wait now. This will take it 1 or 2 minutes. Yeah, deployment succeeded. Now we'll go to this resource button. Okay, now you can see our SQL database, SQL DB1 is created. If you will come to this query editor option, if you will click on tables, there is no tables will not be there, right? Because we just created this database. Now what we will go, we'll come to our uh, on-premise SQL Server Management Studio. Here we will add our Azure SQL Server also. So server name, I will copy that one, not this one. One second, guys. Yeah, server name, sorry. Then I will authenticate this one. Click on connect button. Now this one we mapped here for our checking purpose only. Now if you will come to this databases area in this SQL DB1 tables, if you are going, there should be no tables, will not be there. It is expanding now. You can see there is no tables. But here in our local on-premise SQL database, if you will come here from this DB1 local tables, you can see. So now what we are doing, this DB1 local data, everything we are migrating to this database SQL DB1. So for that purpose, now we will come to our data migration assistant tool. Now we will open. Here, click on the migration. Then project name, you can give any name. I will make it as SQL migration as project name. Source server, SQL server, because in our local, from our local SQL server, we are doing this one. Target, we are migrating to our Azure SQL database. And migration, what are the things you need to migrate? Schema as well as the data you need to migrate. Click on the create button. Now connect it to source server. First, we need to give the source server details. So server name I will give us, this is a server name. I will give the same name. Okay. And the authentication, I will make it as Windows authentication. Now it is connected, this one. Okay. Next, click on the next button. Now this one connected to a target server. Target server means that our Azure SQL server. That server name I copied here, and the authentication I will give now. Click on the connect button. Then it will select our SQL database, SQL DB1 inside our Azure SQL server. Okay, it's already selected here. Then click on the next button. Now we are going to do the general script we are running right now. Okay, now this data migration assistant created one script for this migration purpose. You just need to click on this deploy schema. Now it is executing this schema. Yeah, it's executed now. Now click on the migrate data. So now we are going to migrating this data. You can see migration is successful. Now what will happen? You can see from here. Okay. What will happen here? 1 second. We need to refresh our things. Here also right click on this one. Refresh here. Click on this button. This is our Azure SQL server. Click on the databases area. Click on our SQL DB1. Now click on the tables. You can see now the data from our local on-premise database, it is migrated to our Azure SQL database. If you will go to the portal also, if you will refresh, you can see that option again. We'll come back again. SQL databases. Again, we will come back here. Here you can click on query editor. Again, we will log in. Okay. Now, if you will go to this tables, what will happen? You can see it is already migrated. Okay, guys. Thank you. We can see on our next video.